the sun's up, but I can tell you one thing, it's bloody cold. But look, the amount of sand. I mean, it's one of the biggest tides so far this year. I think it's a 0.24. So it's a big old tide. So there's a few casts here, not a lot. It's been a lot colder this week so far, but ain't too bad at the moment. But look, you can see a lot of the worms. There's a lot of tail and hardly any worm. So give it another month, and then we'll get the spring worms, and hopefully they should be a bit bigger. I also get asked a lot of questions on like, do I pump with the sea behind my back? It don't matter. Well, it don't down here anyway. It's like, you can be in any direction. They say as long as you're like 360 degrees around that cast, you know, if you're in the right place, you'll get the worm. You haven't got to worry about being in one direction. You might find for you that being in one direction might help, but you haven't got to worry about it. I see so many people, they're like worried about having the sea behind their back and they're pumping away. I wouldn't worry about it. The hardest bit of the day is trying to find a cast. Okay, so I'm going to try and show you so that you haven't got to worry about direction. So sea's to my back. There's one worm. Now we're going to dig to the side. There's another one. I've just got to find enough casts in one space. Let's try this one. Right, so I'm facing the other direction now. There you go. See, you haven't got to worry about being back to the sand. It really doesn't matter. I say it's just being within 4 inches of that cast and being at 10 inches deep. Okay, camera's on the pump. See, they're not big worms, just all tail at the moment. We've got it, but look at that, look how stringy they are. Ah, getting better. It's a better one. Just got to, let's say, it's no rush, just like, you just got to try and get that pump down to a certain depth. We've got it again with a second try. Got that one. Sometimes when you're putting the pump in there, you'll get that big slurpy sound. And normally you're pretty close to the worm. Sometimes it's worth putting the pump in again just to get the worm. See, like that there. I mean, normally I'd just do one pump on the worm and then move on. But like when there's not a lot of cast, you've got to try and concentrate more on the worms that are there. I say there's a lot of sand here, not a lot of cast, so you've got to try and be a little bit more precise. I mean, when there's loads of casts, it don't matter, you just pump. If you miss, just move on to the next one. There definitely ain't no monsters here. That there is digging along. I'll turn around towards the land now. You watch, I won't get it. There you go. I chopped him. But you really haven't got to worry about what direction. All you've got to worry about is being, that's your cast, this is your cast, I'll put these down for a minute. That's your cast. You want to be about 4 inches away. So, I mean, some of these worms are like, but look, there's your worm. So it's the length of that worm, 4 inches away. Push the pump in to your 10 inches. And then just pump on the worms. But yeah, we're getting a few. See, that just proves to you, I'm holding this and pumping at the same time to show you don't have to apply loads of pressure to the handle when you say 4 inches behind the cast, 22-degree angle, and I can't get it. I think this is one of them patches where you can't touch them. There you go, we're going to move away from there. This is a prime example. That's a patch of sand there where there's some cast. You can't touch it. Now we'll move away from there. Try here. There you go. And that's facing at the land. So I've been in 4 directions. Can't get many more worms in my hand, so I'm going to have to go and throw these in the bucket. Back in a second. But I would say that is probably my best tip, is the tape on the pump. 10 inches. So many people make the mistake of like, oh God. So many people make the mistake of going that bit too deep, and then they wonder why they don't get the worms. You know, and you've come all the way down here to try and get the worms. Give yourself a chance. The only thing I would say is, like, did you hear that when it slopped then, and then missed it, and then put the pump in again? I mean, copper, as I've always said, with the copper pumps, you get that shiny mark. So like when I'm pushing the pump in, I mean, for me, it's normally always the same kind of depth, unless you hit a stone. But if you've got stainless, it's really hard to see what kind of depth you're going, you know. And as I said, sometimes you can be the difference between being half that extra half-inch in. I've had it on numerous occasions where sometimes I'm not putting the pump in so far, and yet you push it in that extra half-inch into the sand, and bang, you're on the worms. But if you don't go quite deep enough, you'll miss them, even with all the best suction. So you get that suction right, you'll get them worms out all day long. There's the head. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the end of the pump up. I'm going to put a bit of tape on it, so as I'm pumping you'll see that I'm roughly going to that mark. Be back in a bit. Okay, so I've got a bit of yellow tape on the pump now. I hope you can see it. I'm just wondering how long it's going to stay on there for, because obviously the shafts are wet now, but we'll give it a go. There you go, that's down to the mark. That's at 10 inches there. Oh. Yep. See, that's just, you know, if you've got stainless and you're having problems finding the worms, just put that bit of tape on it. It's a 5-minute fix, but it will help you big time. Because, you know, I speak to a lot of people and they say all they get is tails. They're probably going too deep and they're cutting through the worm. But then I've helped a few people out with their pumps and like, say I'm washing them straight away. You can see even when they put the tape on there, they can't help themselves. They just tend to push the pump in too deep and they go past the tape. And then I just ask them to concentrate on going to that depth and then pulling the shaft. And then after about half hour, most of them have a bit of success. So this time of year probably ain't the best time to learn. But say if you're out there and you're getting your own free bait, I'll chop that one. Well, if we can get the rest of it, let's have a look. Oh yeah, one even worth getting. Chopped him up. Yeah. So it's like straight down to that 10-inch mark and up their pop. So that's it there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but that's the 10-inch mark I've put the tape on. And as you can see, go down to there. As I said, don't force the pump in the ground. Just put a little bit of pressure on the handle and pull the pump up gradually until you get down to that depth. Then once you're down to that depth, stop the pump, then just pull the handle. Well, it's the next day. I've had to come down to finish the video because I forgot to clear the card on the camera and I run out of memory or recording space. So anyway, I'm down here with Steve. We're just getting ready to go. As you can see, tide's on the way in now. There's quite a bit of sand here, but within the next 10-15 minutes this will disappear. As you can see, the tide's coming in behind us now. It don't look a lot now, but within like 5 minutes you can see it raging up that channel there now. And a minute ago it was like that. Now it's starting to fill up and it starts getting deep through there. Well, I've just got across the gully there, and I'd say by the time we walk up to the beach, that'll be covered. By the time we walk up to the beach and wash the worms out, that bit of sand there will have disappeared. But we've had a great morning on the sand there. So I thought it was going to be a cold day, but it's absolutely stunning day. Yeah, so just going to clean the old worms up. There ain't many there, but there's a few. There's my rock. It's easier if you've got a few just to clean them a little bit at a time. That way you make sure you get all the sand off there. Which one are coming with, Steve? The only problem is when you look in the bucket when you finish, you think, yeah, got loads of worms there. Then as soon as you start washing them, it soon looks a bit different. So, there's some small worms there, but they will shrink by the time we wash them. Time to get them washed. There you go. See, there's a few in there. Yeah, we've got a few there. And worms. Thanks for watching. See you next time.